Hello and welcome to Interfaith Conversations today. I'm your host, Matthew McKnight. In this episode, I was out on the road again. I visited Brigham Young University's campus in Provo, Utah, where the 2025 Religious Freedom Annual Review Conference was going on. This really valuable conference was hosted by the BYU Law School, in particular, their International Center for Law and Religious Studies. At this conference, they bring in guest speakers from around the country that include scholars as well as community practitioners. To learn more about this conference, those who spake at it, and its great content, you can find the link to their website in the description of the episode. For myself personally, I was interested in attending the Religious Freedom Annual Review's conference because they had some panels on interfaith engagement. During this, I got to catch up with a scholar, Dr. Rebecca Glazier, who led a panel at the conference. Dr. Glazier has directed a community studies project in Little Rock, Arkansas for around 12 years that looks at impacts of faith and community engagement. Let's listen in to our conversation. Perfect. Well, I'm here with Rebecca Glazier. She is a professor at the University of Arkansas in Little Rock.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yeah.
She's here at the Religious Freedom Annual Review at BYU, and just wanted to be able to catch up and get to know a little bit more about what she does with her incredible community there in Little Rock. So, Rebecca, thanks for taking this opportunity to talk with me today.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
So what is it that got you into the work that you do in faith and building community engagement?
Yeah, I actually started researching religious peacemakers, people who are helping to resolve conflicts all around the world. And it took me a little bit of time, but I figured out that there were people who were doing peacemaking work right in my own community in Little Rock. So they might not be resolving conflicts or negotiating ceasefires, but they were really doing peace work in my own community. They were helping to resolve racial conflicts. They were helping to educate kids. They were doing prison ministries. And I wanted to learn a little bit more about that. I also wanted to get my students out of the classroom and into the community to do some hands-on work that way. So awesome. In 2012, I founded the Little Rock Congregation Study to learn more about the impact of faith-based community engagement.
Wow. So from that experience, so that study's been going on for about 12 years?
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible to be able to keep it going, a research study that long. What has been kind of the main findings that have come out of that really have really hit home to you?
Well, our big finding may not be very surprising, but it's that community engagement is good.
That it works.
Yeah, absolutely. It does good. And really in three main ways. We find that it helps individuals. So people benefit from community engagement. They feel happier, they feel healthier, and they feel closer to God. But congregations benefit as well. So when places of worship get engaged in their community, they have higher attendance. People show up more often to worship services. And they also have a warmer congregational culture. So people feel like their congregation is family. And we also see benefits to the community as a whole. So you'll see those services being provided as people get engaged in the community. They'll provide food, food pantries, cleaning up neighborhoods, things like that. But also the members will have a greater sense of political efficacy. They'll feel like they can make a difference and that their voice really matters.
It really kind of incites this view that I can actually make a difference in my community and in the world.
Yeah. And so many people feel so jaded and checked out right now that really matters.
Man, that's fantastic. So what would you say is something that surprised you the most from what you've seen in the data? What was one of those things that you did not expect?
Yeah, so one thing that was a little bit surprising was that young people, they're the ones who want to get involved the most.
Interesting.
So a lot of times when we think about religion and service or community engagement, we think about older people who are retired and have a lot of time on their hands.
Yeah.
And we think young people, they're not even attending anymore. They're all checked out of religion. But when we asked about the most important community issues and if you would get engaged on those issues at your place of worship, every single issue, it was young people who were saying, yes, we want to get involved. We want to volunteer. And so really they're looking for a more meaningful worship experience. They don't just want to show up, worship, and then go home. They want to do something more. They want to have those meaningful experiences. So churches, mosques, temples, synagogues. They just need to give it to them.
Get the youth more involved. So what would
Yeah.
so could you give an example or maybe some examples of how people in the Little Rock area have been getting youth involved and how that has really made a difference?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the congregations that I've been working with, and there's a number of case studies in the book I wrote called Faith and Community. One of them is St. Mark Baptist Church, and they do a fantastic job of engaging people. So one of the things they do is they give backpacks when it's time for back to school. And lots of kids come out to get those backpacks. They do a back to school health fair, and they involve their youth groups and all kinds of 20 somethings and volunteers to get involved with those kinds of community events. And they make it like a big block party where everyone's excited to come out and be part of the community and help people who are in need and just celebrate getting kids back to school.
So it's a big social event, but it's doing good at the same time.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So what would you say then, because you have some friends that you were able to bring, colleagues along, that are pastors or reverends from different congregations. What have you seen in the Little Rock area about building interfaith relationships? What does it take, and what are people doing to make that a reality?
Yeah, there's some great work going on in the interfaith space in Little Rock. We have an interfaith center. Reverend Patricia Matthews was out here at this conference talking about the interfaith work that's going on. And I think one of the things that it takes is relationships, because interfaith work happens when people know each other and they trust each other. And sometimes it takes time to build those relationships. And sometimes it takes really good leaders who are committed to it. And sometimes it takes something as simple as sharing a meal or making a phone call, perhaps when a tragedy happens or there are world events that are really scary going on, to reach out to someone who might be suffering or might be a little bit worried, to let them know that they have a friend. But when you make those efforts, an interfaith service is a great way to bridge those gaps as well, to go out and serve the community together across those religious lines. And that's a great way to help build those relationships up.
So what I'm hearing you say is getting outside yourself, getting outside your community can not just, make a difference or benefit people, but in a large way, it kind of just changing you and helps give you more of that ability to really recognize that you can make a difference and that you can make the world a better place.
Yeah, it not only benefits your community, but it really changes your heart and benefits you as well.
Wow. Oh, well, that's great. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for taking this time today. It's been great to be able to meet up with Rebecca. I've been chatting with her a little bit via email. So thank you so much, Rebecca, for joining us today.
Absolutely. It's been a joy.
Like Dr. Glazier mentioned, you can learn more about the results of her community study at length in her recent book that she published last year with Temple University Press. I highly recommend you check it out. You can check it out on Amazon in the link listed in the episode's description.